Hey book nerds, welcome to my channel. It is time for me to film one of my favourite videos, and that is my most anticipated releases of 2020. This is the first one of 2020. I do mine a little bit differently to how a lot of people do them, so I don't do it for the whole year. I do one every 3 months, so this is for January, February and March of 2020. And I'm basically just going to talk about the books I'm excited to come out for and when they come out. So January seems to be a bit of a sleeper month for me because nothing's really coming out that I'm super excited for until the 21st. And the first book is The Hand on the Wall by Maureen Johnson. This is the third book in the Truly Devious series. I've not read the second one yet, and yet I am so hyped for the third one. I think I'm going to try to read the second one this month. I read Truly Devious in August, I think, and I still remember it fairly well, so I might read the second one. I'm hoping this is the last one. I don't want to sound bad because I am really enjoying them. Truly Devious, the first one, is about a girl who is obsessed with true crime stories, and she goes to like a boarding school for super talented kids, and that's her talent. And at this boarding school there was a mysterious crime years ago, and she decides that for her project for the school she's going to basically solve this crime. I really enjoyed it. I imagine I'll enjoy the second one even more, so yeah. The next book comes out on the 21st of January, and that is Layoverland by Gabby, Noone. This has been described as like the book version of The Good Place, which means I'm definitely going to read it because I love The Good Place. It's like the best TV show ever. This is about a girl who is in like a fatal car accident, and then she wakes up in the afterlife. She's been told that she can have a shot at going to heaven, but she has to save like a certain number of souls back on Earth, and her first assignment is the guy who caused her accident, and she's got to like help him to get into heaven. There's also something going on with her sister. It mentions that I think she wants to help her sister out and she can't because obviously she's in the afterlife now, and there's going to be like a romance between her and the guy she's trying to save. It doesn't sound as good as The Good Place, but I really like the cover. I've heard quite a lot of people talk about it, and I think it's a really interesting concept, so even if it's like a tiny bit like The Good Place, I'll really enjoy it. Next book comes out on the 23rd, and that is The Dilemma by B.A. Paris. This is a thriller. I don't really know a lot about it, which I kind of like going into my thrillers, but it's essentially about a woman who's having like a party, her birthday party or something. She's like a rich woman and her daughter's missing, but it says on the blurb that she's glad her daughter's not there, and there's like some kind of secret, and like something's going on with the husband. I don't know, vague thrillery things, but it all sounds good. I've gotten really into thrillers about posh rich people problems, which is kind of a weird thing. I didn't think I'd be into them, but I am, so we'll see. It sounds really good anyway. So on to February already, and on February the 6th, The Alibi Girl by CJ Skuse comes out. This is a thriller. I have an arc of it. I'm very excited. Not read it yet, but I'll be reading it soon. I've not actually read anything by CJ Skuse, but I know a lot of people really, really like her books. She wrote Sweet Pea. She wrote a couple of others that were on my TBR that I'm really excited about. This is about a woman who essentially pretends to be lots of different people, and it says that the time for all of her alibis is running out and that her past is catching up with her. Super vague, but I'm really excited, and I think that people who've read it already are giving it good reviews, so to be honest I would pick it up for the writing style alone. The next one is out on the 11th of February, and it is Dead to Her by Sarah Pinborough. I've actually started reading this. I started reading it yesterday and I have about 10% left, and it's not a particularly short book, so I don't want to say too much about this, but I really, really love this so far. I've not read the ending, maybe the ending's terrible, but at the moment I'm hyped for this book. This is about a rich woman, and she is married to a rich man, so she used to be like a waitress. Her name's Marcy. She's married to Jason, and then Jason's boss, William, brings home a new young wife called Keisha I think it is, and Keisha is gorgeous and younger than Marcy, and Marcy starts to suspect that Jason might cheat with Keisha. And that's all I'm going to say about the plot. It sounds really basic thriller-wise, but it's good. I don't want to say anything more, but it's really, really good, and you should read it now. And it's really cool. And the writing is fantastic. So yeah, pick it up. It's awesome. You'll actually find out my thoughts in my wrap-up if you want to know if I still like it after I finished it. But yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it, and it's really, really cool. The next book comes out on February the 11th. It is a horror book, and it is The Garden of Bewitchment by Catherine Cavendish. This I also have an arc of. Again, not read it yet. Catherine Cavendish wrote The Haunting of Henderson Close, which was super hyped in January last year, and I've still not read that, but I've heard nothing but good things, and I bought that ages ago. This is about two women who find like a small garden. I think it's historical fiction. Yeah, it takes place in 1893. It's mentioned something about a toy garden, and they mentioned something about two women being driven mad by something, and it's all vague and doesn't make a lot of sense, but it sounds really cool, and I think the writing will be amazing. And yeah, I'm very excited for this one. I really need to get around to it. We're on to March now, and speaking of books I'm extremely excited for, cannot stress how happy I am that I got an arc of this book. This is 8 Perfect Murders by Peter Swanson. This is out on the 3rd of March. It's a thriller, and it is about a bookseller who did like a blog post about the 8 perfect murders of fiction, like the most unsolvable murders. There's Agatha Christie in there, Strangers on the Train, all that kind of stuff. And then he gets contacted by the FBI because someone is there are unsolved murders that have copied this list that he made. And that's just like the perfect thriller premise for me. I'm obsessed with Agatha Christie. I'm obsessed with books about books. And like, yeah, this seems super meta. I'm hoping the writing's really good. I've read some stuff by Peter Swanson. I'm reading another one of his books soon. But this sounds so good. I just hope it's not a disappointment. This book comes out on March the 11th. That is A Phoenix First Must Burn, edited by Patrice Caldwell. So this is a collection of short stories, and it says it's all about the Black experience, explored through science fiction, fantasy, and kind of like folklore type things. Sounds really cool. The cover is absolutely gorgeous. I love reading diverse fiction, particularly because it's own voices, which I think is super important. And yeah, I just think that sounds really cool as a concept. I'm obviously not black, so I will be giving my opinion with a pinch of salt, but it sounds like a really cool book, and I'm very excited for it. The next book comes out on March the 17th. Again, it's another arc I have, and it is What It Seems by Emily Bleeker. This is a thriller, and this synopsis is a little confusing, but I think it's about a girl who's kind of being raised by an overprotective mother, sort of like a weird quasi-abusive type situation. And it says the only thing that gets her through is watching these vlogs of this family, and then she gets the opportunity to have an internship with this family somehow, so she gets to escape her house and go live with this family who she's been obsessed with for years. But then she finds out everything is not what it seems. Hence the title. Yeah, I just think this sounds really cool. I like technology-based thrillers. I'm realising more and more. And I particularly like things with like weird family dynamics and that kind of personal aspect. So it's got a lot of cool stuff. I'm hoping I'm really going to enjoy this one. The next book comes out on March 17th. I do not have an arc for this one. I requested it and was rejected, which is understandable. However, it sounds amazing, and that is All Your Twisted Secrets by Diana Urban. This actually sounds like it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. It's like a young adult thriller thing, and basically 10 high school stereotypes are invited to a dinner party, but then it's a trap. There's a bomb in the room, and they're told that if they don't, there's like a syringe full of poison, and they're told if they don't choose one of them to be injected and die, then the bomb will go off and kill them all. This is the most over-the-top premise, however, it sounds like everything I want. I love cheesy, like, teenage horror thriller books. I like the idea that they're all like the blonde stereotypes, but obviously they've been put into the situation, so you're going to get character depth from that, hopefully. And yeah, it's got a quote by R.L. Stine saying how great it is on the cover, so you know, I really want to read this. It might be awful, probably will be awful, doesn't mean I'm not hyped for it. The final book also comes out on March 17th, and that is All the Pretty Things by Emily Arsenault. Again, this is an arc I did not get. I'm not bitter. This actually has really bad reviews on Goodreads, which makes me slightly nervous, but it sounds really cool. I guess it's like a young adult thriller again, and it is about a girl who works at like a carnival, or goes to a carnival, I forget which, but there's like a theme park type place called Fabuland, which is a great name, and one of her friends finds a dead body there, and it's a boy in their class, and then a friend stops talking and goes into like a psychiatrist facility. And then our main character, it's the standard, she's trying to find out what happened, why that classmate died, what her friend might have to do with it. I really want to know why this has terrible ratings. It's not terrible, it's on like 3.23. It's weird to talk about the negative on a most anticipated list, but like, people who know me know that this is kind of my taste. And yeah, I just think it sounds really cool. It's been compared to Sadie, which is a bold move by the publishers, let me tell you now. But yeah, I still really want to read it, and I think I might really enjoy it. So yeah, so those are my most anticipated releases from January to March. Let me know if there's any you think I might have missed that I would be interested in. Let me know if there's any you really want to read or you've added to your TBR. I've got so many arcs this time, for this time period, which is really cool, because normally I don't get the arcs that I'm like, oh, that sounds bad. I obviously I get arcs that I'm hyped for, but I'm not really like big enough to get arcs for the super hyped books, and for some reason publishers are giving them to me, so I'm gonna read them. But yeah, no, I'm really happy about that. Hope you enjoyed this list. The next one will be up around end of March, April time, as per usual. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, it helps me out massively, and I hope to see you next time.